Thank you for joining me again as we make our way through the chapters of Revelation with short bite-sized devotions through a couple of times in the week to help us to engage with the text, to learn how to live what the text is speaking to us. And today I want to draw something out from chapter 7 where it talks about the saints being sealed. And this is what it says. After this, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth to prevent any wind from blowing on the land or on the sea or any tree. Then I saw another angel coming up from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he called out in a loud voice the 4 angels who had been given power to harm the land and the sea. Do not harm the land or the sea or the trees until we have put a seal on the forehead of the servants of our God. And then I heard the number of those who were being sealed, 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel. Now there's been lots of speculation about what's 144,000. Well, this is a number that John hears, but what he sees, we can see in verse 9, is a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation, tribe, people, language, standing before the throne and before the Lamb. So although it's a symbolic figure, 12,000 of each tribe, that number 12 is a number of fullness. So 144,000 is 12 times 12, which is really the fullness of fullness. And therefore the big crowd that John sees is really the fulfillment of those being sealed. Now, obviously those being sealed are the saints who are following Jesus. And they are kept safe in the midst of struggle. It even says that things have been put on pause to be able to seal them and to preserve them. Now, the idea of a seal is something that's not quite so realistic for us. I mean, the closest we probably could get is a package from Amazon that comes that's sealed. I mean, it's obviously got Amazon print on it, and you know where it comes from, so you know kind of which company it comes to or belongs to, and then we have to open it, and it's obviously being sealed to be able to preserve what's inside, to make sure our package arrives safely. And that will be the kind of symbolism identified with this seal. Now, back in the day, it probably would have been the idea of a seal would be something that a ruler would use. So they put a seal on something to mark ownership, and also to be able to mark a letter, for example, that to show that it had not been opened, it had been preserved, to make sure that it was preserved for its arrival, the message was preserved. Now, this is a great encouragement for us today, because we are the ones who have been sealed with God's seal. Now, it says elsewhere in the New Testament that we have been sealed by the Holy Spirit who's been given to us. He's almost like a deposit given to us that will come to full fruition in eternity. He's the mark of God on us, to mark us for eternity. Now, this seal is what encourages us in the midst of struggle. We've been looking at that for the last few days. We may know that we've been sealed with the mark of God. We are His, we belong to His. And because we are sealed, He also promises to preserve us for eternity. So therefore we may know, as we draw close to God in the midst of struggle, He will be with us, He will go before us, and He will preserve us into eternity with Him. So when you go through difficulties, when you're trying to make life work, you can be assured that God has His mark on you. You are His, we are His ownership, His workmanship, and that He will preserve us through these struggles to be able to enjoy eternity with Him. So perhaps you can spend some time submitting the difficulties that you're currently facing, the struggles that you're going through, and to celebrate that you've been sealed in the midst of that, and that He will preserve you, and thank God for that. That will totally change our perspective and help us to continue to live closely with Him every day.